Hi Sarah, it's nice to meet with you. I'm so sorry, I don't know what's going on with my webcam. I'm having some problems today. Please bear with me. I got your email with some of your information in it. We calculated your resting energy expenditure from the World Health Organization guidelines. That's going to be your basic calorie needs. That's going to put you at 1,300 calories roughly per day. There's an activity factor involved, and because you are training for a marathon, that's quite a bit of activity. We're gonna put you at the higher end of that factor at 2.3 to put you around 3,100 calories a day. As far as your macros, your protein also, we're gonna put you at the higher end because you train over 20 hours a week. So 2 grams per kilogram of body weight a day puts you at 116, or roughly 15% of your calorie needs a day. As far as your carbs, there's kind of a range that's recommended 8 to 12 grams per kilogram. We calculated both ends of that range. If we went with the higher end, that would be 90% of your daily calorie needs. It's recommended that you stay between 50 and 65. So we're going to aim for that lower end of 465. As far as fats, we calculated that by subtracting your carbs and protein from your total calories. So that puts you at 746 calories from fats, or roughly 82 grams a day. That's 24.3%. I've made a chart here so it'd be easy for you to look at. Right now while you're training especially, this is what you're going to go on. I've got your daily grams per kilogram, your daily percentage of calories that each of those macros fits into, and what your macros should be on event day, like right before the race, during the race, and immediately following. Carbs are what's most highly used during your workouts, especially like an endurance training like you're doing. Your glycogen stores come from carbs, so the longer you're exercising, the more those are depleted. That's what makes you feel really heavy. This is why people carb load. So I've advised 6 to 7 days prior, so about a week in advance, try to gradually increase that intake to 65 to 70% of your daily calorie needs. And then a day and a half to 2 days before, up it to 10 to 12 grams of carbs per kilogram. That'll really help you stay energized throughout your race. Okay, Devin, it's nice to see ya. You can't see me, I'm very sorry. Struggling a little bit over here. I got your email with some of your information. I see you're trying to add a whole lot of muscle mass in quite a short period of time. No problem with that, we're just going to have to up your calories quite a bit. So we base our energy expenditure and calorie needs on the World Health Organization recommendations. Your resting energy expenditure before we figure in your activity level comes to roughly 2,400 calories a day. There is a range. We went with the higher end since you're trying to gain muscle. You're going through kind of what we would call a bulk stage. So that puts you at 2.4 for your activity factor and puts you at about 5,700 calories a day. Your total macros, we don't want you to exceed 2 grams of protein per kilogram of muscle mass, or just total mass. So 1.9 would put you at the higher range of 181.4, or roughly 13%. Fats, we want you to stay about 2 grams per kg at 190.9, that's going to be 30. And then the remainder of 57%, that's going to be your carbs. So you're going to be eating 8.5 grams of carbs per kilogram, that's 811. You're going to need that energy to keep up all your training. It's quite a bit. I really enjoyed seeing some of the things on your meal plan. You got a lot of great stuff in there. As far as breakfast, I wanted to see a little more maybe fats, proteins, a lot of extra carbs. I think that's what we're kind of missing. I added a banana, bagel, and peanut butter. Of course, every brand is going to be a little bit different, but I went ahead and added those calories in for those three things, and the protein. I gave you a snack between breakfast and lunch that you didn't normally have. Rice beans. It's a really fast little meal, especially if you're trying to take it to school. That's going to add about 600 calories, and a little more protein. As far as lunch, sandwich, great. Apple, great. A lot of this is good stuff. I don't like seeing the soda. It's a little empty calories, too much sugar. Threw in a bran muffin and some raisins. That's a little more extra carbs. I think you'd really benefit from that, like I said. That's going to raise your total calories to about 1,400 for that meal, and your protein to about 70. As far as a snack, I love that you're already getting close to your protein intake that you need, but we don't want to exceed that 2 grams. So in order to get the carbs you need without exceeding your protein, I'm going to drop that protein shake and suggest something like cottage cheese, fruit, something like that. For dinner, I did something very similar where I lowered some of your just lean protein and added some extra carbs to that. If you wanted to, you could do some more just brown rice, but I thought mac and cheese would be kind of different and kind of nice for a change. Again, I don't want to see that soda in there. So that's going to lower your protein a little bit for that meal, but your calories is still going to stay really high. It's going to be raised. I threw in a dessert, but it's going to be kind of a healthy dessert. I've got strawberries, banana, and protein powder. So that's a little more protein that we took off from dinner. If you didn't want to remove that fish, you don't have to. You could just not add this protein and just have like a fruit smoothie. That would be perfectly fine. Remember, if it's delicious, you're more likely going to stick to it.
Recording stopped.